really sorry that I started that because I feel like it changed everything. And then I it all up when I did that.
Am I crazy for believing Rob? Like, I actually believe that he regrets cheating, but I also think he just can't help himself. It's almost an addiction, and that is why this hurts so much more.
I basically saw on his phone that he's been texting women the whole time during this resort. Also, I found this.
So we left the cast as they were beginning their hypnotherapy, and lo and behold, it may have actually helped these two have a breakthrough. You see, fresh on the back of their sandbox therapy, Sophie readily admits that her own behaviour has been part of the problem when it comes to their relationship. That is progress, and in fact, the hypnotherapy brought back up a memory of something she did to hurt Rob, which involved an argument in front of a friend. An argument in which she blurted out some private information which she knew would hurt Rob.
I brought up some really personal things that Rob had told me in front of her. It did betray his trust because he told me this in confidence and, I blurted out in front of my friend.
Now, remember, this exercise was to think of an event where you hurt your partner, but also to reimagine how you could have done things differently. So seeing Sophie like this, seeing her finally take accountability and responsibility for her actions is quite refreshing. It's good that she's finally moving away from just blaming Rob for everything, saying that he's the only one at fault, which up until this point is what she usually does. Like, dare I say it, this version of Sophie is the one that Rob has wanted for so long.
Like, that's not my place to ever share Rob's personal business with anyone. I'm sorry, because I could tell that really hurt your feelings.
Thank you.
That's a collector's item right there. That might be one of the very few genuine sorries that Rob has ever got from Sophie. I think that in Sophie's mind, right, the way that she's treated Rob up until now has been completely warranted and valid, at least in her mind, because of the fact that he cheated on her. She almost sees this as her right? She's entitled to treat him like that. Now, of course, we know that that's not healthy. If she wants this relationship to work, she will need to learn to forgive. She does need to get past it. But hold your horses, because he also needs to deserve the forgiveness. Now, on that topic of cheating, any guesses what Rob's hypnotherapy memory was?
I went back to when we were long distance, and those, the first girl to reach out to me and sending me inappropriate things.
The hypnotherapy has given Rob a chance to take ownership. Ownership on how his choice to cheat sent their relationship spiralling, sent it on a course that they haven't been able to reverse back out of. Rob admits that everything that's happened since can be traced back to his actions. And instead of a quick sorry, instead of nagging Sophie to forgive him, or instead of defending his actions, as he so often does, Rob, like Sophie, also takes accountability.
I'm really sorry that I started that because I feel like it changed everything. And then I it all up when I did that.
Now, Rob goes on to say that despite what he did, deep down in his soul, he's always wanted to do right by Sophie. He's always wanted to be hers. If I could redo what I did, if I could redo that memory, I would never have cheated, he says. It seems pretty genuine, it seems pretty convincing, and he goes on to apologise again. And the sincerity, or at least the perceived sincerity, even makes Sophie seem different. She seems to receive this differently, she seems more willing to accept his apology.
Rob has apologized to me so many times about the online cheating, but this time I believe that he regrets it. I think, it's genuine.
Rob taking accountability was like a breath of fresh air to Sophie. For the first time in a very long time, she can see that he's trying. And this might be the best place that these two have been in since they got married. It's nice to see for a change. As therapy wraps up and all of the other couples tackle the issues that they've uncovered, Rob and Sophie are loved up around the campfire, making s'mores together.
It's gonna be hot, give it a second.
No, it tastes of Bernie.
Bernie Mac.
But we have been lulled into a false sense of security here. I should have known better. I'm an idiot for thinking these two could actually be making progress. You see, everything is about to change, or should I say everything is about to go back to how it was before. Overnight, while all of the cast were in their tents, Sophie discovered something about Rob that's so bad that when we join them the following morning, she doesn't even know how to act around him.
Sophie was super weird to me this morning, though. Like, she's pissed off at me for some reason. I don't even know why.
Well, what happened last night to make her pissed off at you today?
Nothing, not that I know of.
Now, when Sophie doesn't come out to join everyone for breakfast, a concerned Jasmine makes her way over to Sophie's tent to check in on her. And it's there that she finds Sophie still in her pyjamas, looking traumatised, looking depressed. "What's happened? What's going on?" asks Jasmine. And it's at that point that Sophie hits her with the bad news. Rob, she says, has been unfaithful again.
I basically saw on his phone that he's been texting women the whole time during this resort. Also, I found this.
Sophie says that every single thing that caused her to leave him in the first place, right, the lies and the cheating, have all still secretly been going on. And the worst part of all, the part that really seems to have floored her, is that it's even been going on whilst they've been at the last resort, whilst they've been doing therapy to supposedly try and fix their marriage. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It hasn't even been 24 hours since Rob seemed to be genuinely apologising.
He's not trying. Still doing all that. He apologized yesterday for that. Yeah. And then, look, also I found this.
Sophie's convinced that Rob's revelations in therapy have all been an act. They've all been fake. And you've got to say, if she really has seen these messages between Rob and a bunch of other women, then unfortunately, she's right. He's an Oscar-worthy actor. He's in the wrong profession. But what else did she also find that's caused Jasmine's jaw to hit the floor?
He's not trying to be with me.
You're down to be adventurous? Let's explore. Asshole.
Now, unfortunately, we don't get to see the screen, right? But I'm going to take a guess, based on the language and what she's just read out, I'm going to assume that she may have just found Rob's profile on a dating website. Now, of course, while Rob does have previous, right, this wouldn't be out of character for him. There is the possibility, something we have to talk about, there is a chance that someone might have created a fake dating profile using his pictures. But for as plausible as that may or may not be, when it comes to the actual messages, well, those are a little harder to explain. Will he be able to explain them? Is there a valid explanation? Well, we're just going to have to wait until the next episode, because from the teaser that we're shown of what's to come, Sophie demands answers.
And you've done so much to me, and I've kept it to myself because I do care about you. You was cheating on
Let's
me.
be very clear. You want to use that? You want to put me in the corner?
Rob looks frustrated and angry, but does he also look guilty? I don't know, it's hard to say. Now, what I will say is, if Sophie's going to accuse him of cheating on her again on TV in front of millions of viewers, she better have her facts right. She better have strong evidence. Now, if she has that, and if she's right, then I think it's all over for Rob. It's impossible to see how he'll be able to recover from that. Recover his marriage, recover with the cast, with the therapists, and also recover his credibility with us. If he's cheated again, then surely Rob cements his place as one of the worst cast members to ever appear on this show, don't you think?